Incredibly, what seemed to be an unprecedented technological breakthrough has revealed a dark secret that threatens to shatter the image of the technological prodigy, Elon Musk. Neuralink, the company that promised to revolutionize the interaction between the human brain and machines, now finds itself in the eye of the storm after the leak of information that exposes its disturbing origins. This scandal, which has left the world speechless, uncovers a series of questionable practices that could forever change the perception of technological innovation. From its inception, Neuralink was presented as the pinnacle of innovation, a promise of a future where disabilities could be overcome and humanity could reach new heights of knowledge and capability. However, behind this facade of progress lies a disturbing truth. Leaked documents and testimonies from former employees reveal that the company has been involved in experiments that border on the ethically unacceptable, putting the mental and physical integrity of its test subjects at risk. The revelations have sparked a wave of global outrage. The accusations are that Musk, in his eagerness to play the modern god, has crossed boundaries that should never have been crossed. The experiments, which were supposedly intended to improve human life, have resulted in episodes of telepathic chaos that the company desperately tried to cover up. These incidents, described by witnesses as terrifying, have left scars on those who volunteered as human guinea pigs. The situation is made worse by the emergence of a brave whistleblower, a former Neuralink employee, who has decided to risk everything to expose the truth. This individual, whose identity remains protected for security reasons, has provided compelling evidence that could bring down Musk's empire. The leaked documents, detailing failed experiments and systematic cover-ups, are a ticking time bomb that threatens to explode at any moment. The international community has been quick to react. Governments and human rights organizations have strongly condemned Neuralink's actions, demanding a thorough investigation and accountability for all those involved. The pressure on Musk is mounting as more voices join the call for justice, and the world is watching closely for the outcome of this scandal that could redefine the boundaries of ethics in technology. Meanwhile, the victims of these experiments are beginning to speak out, sharing their harrowing testimonies. Their stories, full of pain and suffering, are a reminder of the consequences of unbridled ambition and lack of scruples. The fight for truth and justice is just beginning, and Neuralink's future hangs in the balance, threatened by the weight of its own mistakes. The scandal that shook the tech world is not stopping. After the initial revelation of Neuralink's dark secrets, attention is now focused on Elon Musk and his alleged mind control ambitions. This tycoon, known for his disruptive innovations, seems to have crossed a line that many consider unacceptable. The idea of playing God with our minds is not just a metaphor. It is a reality that is brewing in Neuralink's laboratories, according to sources close to the project. The details that emerge are chilling. There is talk of experiments that challenge ethics and morality, where the line between science and manipulation is dangerously blurred. Musk, with his usual charisma, has tried to sell the idea that his technology could improve human life, but the intentions behind these investigations are much more sinister than has been publicly admitted. Internal reports suggest that the ultimate goal is to create an interface that allows not only telepathic communication, but also direct control of thoughts and emotions. This type of technology, in the wrong hands, could become an unprecedented tool of domination. The possibility of a single individual or corporation having such power over the human mind is terrifying. The implications of these experiments are vast and disturbing. What happens when mental privacy is no longer a guaranteed right? How can individual autonomy be protected in a world where thoughts can be manipulated? These are questions that society must urgently confront, as Musk continues his experiments under a cloak of secrecy. The scientific community is divided. Some experts warn of the inherent dangers of this technology, while others, seduced by the promise of medical advances, prefer to ignore the warning signs. However, the general consensus is that strict regulation and ethical oversight are needed to prevent this research from becoming a weapon of mass control. The world is watching with growing concern, and the pressure on Musk and his team is mounting every day. The demand for transparency is deafening, and society is demanding clear answers and concrete actions to ensure that the future of humanity is not in the hands of those who play with the power of the mind. In an unexpected and terrifying twist, testimonies of uncontrolled telepathic episodes have come to light, revealing a chaos that Neuralink desperately tried to bury. These incidents, which seem straight out of a science fiction movie, have left victims in a state of confusion and fear, while Elon Musk's company struggles to maintain control of a technology that seems to have surpassed its capabilities. The accounts are chilling. Individuals who, after undergoing Neuralink experiments, began experiencing episodes of thought transmission without their consent. Imagine the horror of hearing another person's most intimate thoughts echoing in your mind, without being able to stop it. This phenomenon, which some describe as a mental invasion, has generated widespread panic among those taking part in the trials. The victims, who were initially lured by the promise of revolutionary medical advances, now find themselves trapped in a nightmare from which they cannot awaken. The telepathic episodes have not only affected their mental health, but have also destroyed personal and professional relationships, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. Neuralink, in a desperate attempt to control the narrative, has tried to downplay these incidents, calling them minor anomalies. However, those affected tell a very different story, one of negligence and lack of ethics that has put the mental integrity of participants at risk. The scandal has sparked a wave of public outrage, with neuroscience experts warning of the dangers of tinkering with the human mind without a full understanding of the consequences. The scientific community is alarmed, and calls for stricter regulation of these experimental technologies are growing louder. Meanwhile, Elon Musk, the man behind the controversial company, is facing mounting pressure to answer for the damage caused. The question on everyone's mind is, how far is he willing to go to maintain his vision of an interconnected future, even if it means sacrificing people's safety and well-being? The story of Neuralink and its telepathic experiments is a chilling reminder of the dangers of unbridled ambition in the tech space. As more victims dare to speak out, the world watches in horror, hoping for justice and action to be taken to prevent something like this from happening again. In an unexpected twist that has shaken the foundations of Elon Musk's tech empire, a brave whistleblower has decided to break the silence and expose the dark secrets hidden behind Neuralink's doors. This individual, whose identity is being kept anonymous for security reasons, has stepped forward, challenging the tech titan with a bravery few would dare to display. In a world where power and influence seem untouchable, this lone voice stands as a beacon of truth amidst the storm. The whistleblower, a former high-ranking employee within Neuralink, has revealed chilling details about the experiments taking place at the company's facilities. According to his statements, what is presented to the public as revolutionary medical advances is, in reality, a dangerous game with the human mind. The tests, which supposedly seek to integrate technology with the human brain, have resulted in episodes of telepathic chaos that the company has desperately tried to hide. This brave individual has provided compelling evidence documenting how test subjects, often vulnerable people, have been subjected to invasive procedures without proper informed consent. The consequences have been devastating, with episodes of loss of mental control leaving victims in a state of confusion and terror. The company, according to the whistleblower, has gone to great lengths to bury these incidents, prioritizing technological advancement over human safety and well-being. The revelation of these facts has unleashed a wave of global outrage, with voices from around the world demanding that Musk and his team be held accountable for their actions. The bravery of this whistleblower has lit a spark of hope in those seeking justice, proving that even the most powerful can be challenged when the truth comes to light. In a world where technology advances in leaps and bounds, this story reminds us that ethics and humanity should not be relegated to the background. In an unexpected twist that has left the world speechless, leaked documents have come to light, revealing the dark web that Elon Musk never wanted you to see. These files, carefully hidden in the shadows, expose a plan as bold as it is terrifying, which threatens to crumble the technological empire that Musk has built with such care. The evidence is overwhelming and leaves no room for doubt. What began as a futuristic dream has become a nightmare of unimaginable proportions. The documents, obtained from insiders who risked everything to bring the truth to light, detail experiments that defy ethics and morality. They describe how human minds have been manipulated with chilling coldness, all under the guise of technological advances. The evidence is irrefutable. Charts, reports, and testimonies paint a grim picture of unbridled ambitions and a complete disregard for human consequences. The leak has unleashed a storm of global outrage. Voices calling for transparency and justice are growing, demanding that Musk be held accountable for his actions. The pressure is mounting, and the world is watching the tycoon's every move closely, hoping that justice will finally be done. The question that resonates in every corner is clear. How far is Musk willing to go to protect his legacy? Meanwhile, documents continue to circulate, fueling a fire that threatens to consume everything in its path. The truth, once released, cannot be contained, and the impact of these revelations is only just beginning to be felt. The fall of a tech giant seems imminent, and the world eagerly awaits the outcome of this saga that has captured everyone's attention. Global outrage has reached a boiling point. In every corner of the planet, voices are raised in a unanimous outcry against the unbridled ambitions of Elon Musk and his Neuralink project. What began as a promise of technological advancement has become a symbol of human arrogance, an experiment that threatens to destabilize the delicate balance of ethics and science. From the corridors of power to the streets, the condemnation is resounding. World leaders, ethicists, and ordinary citizens have joined together in an unexpected coalition, demanding an end to what they see as a dangerous game with the future of humanity. Emergency meetings are multiplying, and statements of condemnation are pouring in. The international community, alarmed by the revelations, has begun to take drastic measures to curb what many see as an unprecedented abuse of power. Social media is ablaze with messages of outrage. Hashtags like #StopNeuralink and #JusticeForVictims have trended, reflecting the sentiments of millions demanding accountability and transparency. Protests are multiplying in major cities around the world, with demonstrators carrying banners and shouting slogans against Musk and his tech empire. The pressure is such that even some of Musk's closest allies have begun to distance themselves, fearful of being swept up in the whirlwind of criticism. Shares of his companies have begun to falter, reflecting investors' uncertainty and fear of an increasingly uncertain future. In this climate of tension, the resonating question is clear. How far is Musk willing to go in his quest to push the boundaries of what is possible? And, most importantly, who will stop this frenzied race before it's too late? The answer, for now, remains a mystery, but one thing is certain. The world is watching, and it will not sit idly by. In a shocking turn of events, the voices of Neuralink's victims have finally come to light, revealing a series of harrowing testimonies that expose the stark reality behind the company's experiments. These people, used as human guinea pigs, have endured unimaginable suffering, all in the name of a technological breakthrough that promised to change the world. However, what really lurks behind the closed doors of Neuralink's labs is a story of horror and despair. The victims' accounts are a cry for help that cannot be ignored. Individuals who believed in the promise of a better future now find themselves trapped in a cycle of pain and anguish. Some describe episodes of uncontrollable telepathy, where their most intimate thoughts were exposed without their consent, while others have experienced devastating side effects that have altered their lives forever. These testimonies are irrefutable proof that something went terribly wrong in the Neuralink laboratories. The bravery of these people in sharing their experiences is an act of resistance against a system that tried to silence them. Their stories are a reminder that behind every technological advance there are human beings who deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. The question that now resonates around the world is, how could this have been allowed to happen? Who will be held responsible for the lives shattered by the unbridled ambition of a company that promised heaven but delivered hell? The pressure on Elon Musk and his tech empire is growing every day as more victims dare to speak out. The international community is demanding answers and justice for those who have suffered in silence for too long. This scandal has shaken the foundations of the tech industry, and the demand for transparency and accountability is stronger than ever. At this critical moment, the world is watching intently, hoping that the voices of the victims will be heard and that steps will be taken to prevent something like this from happening again. The story of Neuralink is a brutal reminder of the dangers of messing with the human mind, and the consequences of ignoring the warnings of those who have been directly affected. The fight for justice has only just begun, and the outcome of this saga is yet to be written. Elon Musk, the tech mogul known for his bold ambitions, now finds himself in the eye of the storm. In a desperate attempt to salvage his image, Musk has come forward to vehemently deny the allegations that threaten to crumble his empire. However, his words seem more like a desperate attempt to divert attention than a genuine defense. The pressure is palpable, and the world watches his every move with skepticism. The allegations are serious and cannot be ignored. Leaked documents and harrowing testimony have painted a grim picture of the practices of Neuralink, the company that promised to revolutionize brain-computer interfaces. But now, instead of innovation, what is looming is manipulation and control. Musk, with characteristic arrogance, tries to dismiss the evidence as mere fabrications, but the damage has already been done. The international community is not willing to let this scandal go by. The voices of those affected, those who were used as human guinea pigs, resonate loudly, demanding justice. Meanwhile, Musk clings to his narrative, trying to convince the public that it is all a misunderstanding. But who can believe him when the evidence is so overwhelming? The world is on tenterhooks, waiting to see if the tech titan will make it through this storm unscathed or if he will finally face the consequences of his actions. The truth is coming out, and even though Musk tries to hide it, the reality is that his empire is faltering. The question on everyone's mind is, how long can he keep up this facade before everything collapses? The experts have spoken, and what they have revealed about Neuralink is a true scientific horror. In a world where technology is advancing by leaps and bounds, Elon Musk's creation has crossed a line that many consider dangerous and unacceptable. Scientists have raised their voices, warning of the imminent risks that this technology represents for humanity. This is not just a technological advance, it is a leap into the abyss of the unknown, where the consequences could be catastrophic. The scientific community is up in arms. Reports detail how Neuralink brain implants could alter the human mind in ways we don't yet fully understand. The risks of neurological interference, irreversible brain damage, and the possibility of non-consensual mind control are just the tip of the iceberg. Experts have been clear: we are playing with fire, and the flames could consume us before we know it. The alarmism is not unfounded. Preliminary studies have shown that the implants could cause devastating side effects, from seizures to personality changes. The lack of proper regulation and oversight only makes matters worse, leaving individuals vulnerable to being guinea pigs in an experiment that could go horribly wrong. Science, which should be a beacon of hope, has become a potential nightmare under the shadow of Neuralink. The international scientific community is demanding an immediate moratorium on Neuralink's experiments until thorough, independent investigations are conducted. The pressure is mounting, and the world is watching with fear and anticipation. Are we on the threshold of a new era of technological terror? The answer could determine the future of humanity, and an unexpected twist that has left the world agape. A scandal of epic proportions has been uncovered that threatens to bring down Elon Musk's technological empire. At the heart of this storm is Neuralink, the company that promised to revolutionize the interaction between the human brain and machines, but now faces accusations of cover-up and manipulation on a massive scale. From the very beginning, Neuralink has presented itself as the vanguard of innovation, promising a future where neurological diseases would be a thing of the past. However, behind this facade of progress, there is a terrifying truth. Leaked documents and insider testimonies reveal a web of dark secrets that Musk and his team have desperately tried to keep hidden. The scandal began to brew when a brave whistleblower decided to break the silence, exposing questionable practices and experiments bordering on the inhumane. This individual, whose identity remains protected for security reasons, has provided compelling evidence that Neuralink has been involved in unauthorized experiments, putting the lives of its human test subjects at risk. The revelations don't end there. The company has been found to have been manipulating data and results to hide the devastating side effects of its brain implants. Episodes of uncontrolled telepathy, personality alterations, and irreversible neurological damage are just some of the consequences that have come to light. These findings have sparked a wave of global outrage, with experts and citizens demanding answers and justice. The scale of the cover-up is staggering. There is talk of bribery of officials, destruction of evidence, and a network of complicity that stretches across several countries. The question that resonates in every corner of the world is, how deep does this black hole of corruption and deceit go? The pressure on Musk and his team is immense, and every day that passes without a clear answer only fuels the fury of a public opinion that is no longer willing to be fooled. Meanwhile, the victims of these experiments continue to suffer in silence, their voices drowned out by the power and influence of a corporation that seems willing to do anything to protect its interests. But the cry for truth is growing louder, and the demand for transparency and accountability will not cease until justice is done. This scandal has put not only Neuralink, but the entire technology industry in check, questioning the ethical limits of innovation and the price we are willing to pay for progress. The story is far from over, and the world is watching closely, waiting for the outcome of a saga that could forever change the relationship between humans and technology. Public outrage has reached a boiling point. Society, fed up with scandals and manipulations, has risen in a unanimous clamor to demand that Elon Musk be held accountable for his actions. The revelation of Neuralink's dark secrets has ignited a spark that has become an unstoppable fire. People are no longer willing to accept excuses or tolerate the impunity of those who play with the fate of humanity. From the streets to social media, the cry for justice is resonating loudly. Demonstrations are multiplying, and the voices of those affected are rising bravely, demanding an end to inhuman experiments and mental manipulation. The pressure on Musk and his technological empire is growing ever more intense, and the world is watching his every move closely. Opinion leaders, activists, and ordinary citizens have united in a common front, determined not to allow this scandal to go unpunished. Calls for thorough investigations and legal action number in the thousands, and the echo of this demand for justice resonates in the corridors of power. The international community has also raised its voice, condemning Neuralink's practices and demanding that human rights and ethics be respected in scientific research. Diplomatic pressure is intensifying, and human rights organizations are not ceasing in their efforts to bring this case to international courts. The movement to hold Musk accountable shows no signs of stopping.
With each passing day, more people are joining the cause, convinced that it is time to end the era of technological impunity. Society has awakened, and it will not rest until justice is served.
The countdown has begun, and the world eagerly awaits the outcome of this epic battle for truth and accountability. The scandal surrounding Neuralink has reached a critical point. The company, once considered the crown jewel in Elon Musk's tech empire, is now teetering on the edge of the abyss. The shocking revelations about its practices have shaken the foundations of the tech industry and left many wondering if this giant can survive the storm it unleashed. The allegations are devastating. Leaked documents and victim testimony have painted a grim picture of reckless experiments and unbridled ambitions. Musk's carefully constructed image as a benevolent visionary is crumbling, revealing a dark side that few dared to imagine. The public pressure is immense, and the demand for justice resonates around the world. Neuralink's future hangs in the balance. Investors, once confident of the company's inevitable success, are now wary, fearful of the legal and ethical repercussions that could arise. Trust in the brand has eroded, and the shadow of doubt hangs over its every move. Neuralink's downfall would not only be a blow to Musk, but also a sobering reminder of the dangers of playing with the unfettered power of the human mind. Meanwhile, regulators are under pressure to act. Voices demanding a thorough investigation and severe sanctions are growing louder. The scientific community, horrified by the implications of these experiments, is calling for a re-evaluation of the ethical standards governing technological research. The question on everyone's mind is clear. Can Neuralink survive this scandal, or will it be the ultimate example of how hubris can destroy even the most powerful? The outcome of this saga remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. The world is watching, and the consequences of this scandal will resonate for a long time to come. The fallout from Neuralink could be the catalyst for a profound shift in how society perceives and regulates cutting-edge technology. The story of Neuralink is a chilling warning of what can happen when power and ambition run amok. In an unexpected twist that has shaken the foundations of the tech world, Elon Musk's brain-computer interface company Neuralink finds itself in the eye of the storm. What began as a promise of revolutionary medical breakthroughs has degenerated into a scandal of epic proportions. Leaked documents and harrowing testimonies have revealed a dark secret that threatens to destroy the tech mogul's reputation. From the start, Musk's intentions were questioned. Was he really an altruistic visionary or a puppet master playing with the strings of the human mind? Alarm bells went off when reports emerged of uncontrolled experiments, where human subjects, treated as mere guinea pigs, suffered uncontrollable telepathic episodes. These events, which Neuralink desperately tried to bury, have come to light, causing telepathic chaos that no one could have foreseen. A brave whistleblower, challenging Musk's power and influence, has stepped forward, risking everything to reveal the truth. This individual, whose identity remains protected for security reasons, has provided irrefutable evidence of the company's questionable practices. The leaked documents are a ticking time bomb that could dismantle Musk's empire, exposing his unbridled ambitions and disregard for ethics. Global outrage has not been long in coming. Nations around the world have condemned Musk's actions, joining in a collective outcry against this technological threat. The voices of the victims, those who suffered in silence under the yoke of Neuralink, now resonate loudly, demanding justice and reparation. Meanwhile, Musk, in a desperate attempt to save his image, has vehemently denied all the accusations. However, his efforts to divert attention have only served to fan the flames of controversy. Experts have spoken out, warning of the real dangers of this uncontrolled technology, painting a frightening picture for the future. The scale of the cover-up is staggering, and the question on everyone's mind is, how deep does this rabbit hole of corruption go? Public pressure for Musk to be held accountable is growing by the day, with an unstoppable movement demanding transparency and accountability. Now, at the climax of this saga, the fate of Neuralink hangs in the balance. The downfall of this tech giant seems inevitable, and the world is watching with bated breath for the outcome of this story. Will justice prevail against Musk's empire? The answer to this question could change the course of technological history forever.